I signed on to work with DeFeto, and that's the guy with the gun, and you killed him. So.
Well, hey, shit happens. Anyway, while we're here, would you like me to take a look at those injuries?
Yes,
or
yeah, you guys who were injured. All right, so we introduce you to the long-term injury. Who's actually injured?
Me.
All of us.
Cyrus.
All of us.
No. Cyrus and David are the ones that are injured.
Now,
actually,
if you have the hurt condition, the hurt condition can be removed after 5 minutes.
No, I believe we're all injured though.
No, I'm not. I'm just hurt.
You're just hurt.
Sorry.
Yeah,
But
I'm
the rest
looking
of you
right
are
now.
injured.
He's just hurt. So after 5 minutes of after someone, but you can't heal yourself with prayer. Someone has to do first aid on you. So first, to get rid of hurt is a roll of mind, academics, and a D12 from first aid. You just need a 4 or better, and it takes 5 minutes, which is like 50 combat rounds. So,
I've got doctor. Would that help at all or no?
you can roll mind and academics. Doctor actually helps with long-term injuries.
We'll work on long-term injuries then.
All right. So wait, who's rolling this then, or is it just Jason?
just Jason.
So, all right.
All right. Let's get organized here. What am I rolling for? What now?
Jason will roll his mind and academics and try to roll a 4 or better to patch up the priest.
Okay. Patch up the priest to 5 and a 2.
Perfect. You only need 1 success. He's patched up.
Okay.
Poof. That gets rid of hurt. Now, injured is one of the few things in the game that requires a quota, like crafting.
Mm.
You have to remove 24 points off their quota before they are no longer injured. You can roll once per day, so decide who you're going to treat first and go ahead and roll. It takes an hour to treat them.
You know what? I'm going to do a D2. Skitch, you're a 1. Arclight, you're a 2. 1.
All right, you need to roll mind and academics, and it's just mind and academics, and you need 4 or better.
5 and a 5.
All right, that removes 2 points from his quota. He is now 22 points away. If he sleeps in a bed tonight, that'll take 1 point off. And if he goes and eats properly prepared food in an inn or a farm, that's another point off. Okay. So basically, he'll be fine in a couple days. Right. If he gets serious treatment. If you notice in the game, roughing it is way more difficult treatment. Plus, also, if he gets treated by the doctor every day and you keep rolling successes. This was designed in the game, so if you guys actually got Tasso Bianco and injured him, he would stay injured until he could properly get treated, which gives him an incentive to run off to town to get healed.
Yeah.
Whereas in a lot of role-playing games, it's like, oh my god, you willed him down to 1 hit point. Okay, he runs home, takes a nap, and comes back the next day with all hit points. Oh.
Well, it would have helped if I didn't spear him in his fucking spine.
Right.
Now, can I try to do an injury thing on Cyrus then?
You can only heal injuries if you have the gift of doctor. If you don't have it, you can't even try.
Okay. All right.
Only doctors can, which is what makes it a valuable career.
Okay, if I could make a request, could we take like a 5 or 10 minute break?
How much longer are we going to go? It's already 9 o'clock.
Well, we've played D&D until 1 o'clock in the morning, so...
I would not mind taking a 5-minute break.
All right. Let's take why don't we take a little break here, and then we'll all resume a little bit.
All right.
I'll be right back. Let me grab something to eat.
I was pretty happy with how David has turned out so far. Is there Liam?
Yep.
We kicked some ass there.
I overkill someone, bitch.
You did. I'm just happy with the double wrestles that I pulled off there.
You fucking punched someone's head off. Twice. I come up to him, punch him. He's dead.
I'm trying I know. Well, at least I'm glad that we're gonna get get my goal of getting paid. Did you see Dark Volt's drawing of the party?
Yes, and it is goddamn sweet.
My token updated. Yeah, I think at this point we need to get this body back. It would have been easier for me if I didn't try to do non-lethal grappling, because I would have been able to disable him in that my first counter. Great Beaver's actually, I don't know what Jason's body die is set up as. I mean, Davin's body die is not the highest thing he has going for him. It's his career and speed dice. Hello?
Hello, I am back.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how I played out. That the main thing I regret is I shouldn't have tried to do non-lethal with my counter, because that would have made that part a much less lethal for David there.
Yeah, it's well, we try to make the game kind of violent because I mean, you see this all the time in literature. I mentioned I said we're story driven, and like there's sometimes you see these incidents in movies and stuff where they say, like, we need to take him alive, and people say, no, but he resisted, and it was difficult. So we wanted to make sure non-lethal damage was very difficult. If you've played a game such as, I mean, some versions of Dungeons & Dragons or the D20 make it actually very easy to do non-lethal damage sometimes. And
the thing I don't like is the ability, like in D&D, to declare damage is non-lethal after you've done the damage. It's like, oh, come on, man, that's cheating.
No, you have to declare damage before you is
right. But in D&D,
the fact is you can turn everything into non-lethal damage.
Yes, in D&D 4th edition, you can just declare every attack you do is non-lethal and can't kill the target instantly.
You can fucking impale a guy with like fucking 27 points of damage. It's like, nah, doesn't kill him, though, does it?
It's up to the game master where they want to rule it can do a knockout. Generally on impaling weapons or critical weapons, either you lose the damage bonus or we say you can't do it. Because, I mean, the saber gets so much of its damage because it has a cutting edge.
Yeah, a saber, I can see that just outright killing someone. Something like a stiletto, if you just like jab that in their shoulder, that's going to disable them but not really kill them.
I could see people getting a little subjective. We debated. Let's see, KM Mouse. I am the Rafferty who shows up on LordKaT's server. By the way, LordKaT TF2 server is awesome. Thank you again for having auto scramble when the same team wins twice in a row. I hate team stacking.
Yay.
So, yeah. So, and Riffs should roll. So Riffs has a skill for everything. Yeah, so I'm hoping you're enjoying it so far. I know it can be a little complicated. I hope I didn't mess anything up with the entire internet listening.
I'm actually very impressed by the game because I thought it would be very confusing, but after watching it now, I've kind of picked up on the rules.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was going to be, like, too thick for me, and I was going to be, like, trailing behind.
Well, that was the goal. Like I said, I worry about a lot of games where we try to model too much. But as you can see here, you pretty much fall into a ready groove where it's like, what do you grab a bunch of dice and roll them? Okay, did you roll high? Yay! Did you roll low? Boo!
Yeah.
Stop rolling low. I can't believe some of the rolls I've seen tonight.
Yeah, I like this way I set up David as just this brawler. I basically think it was like this sort of pugless. He has this mace that he carries with him, but he never uses it. I think the idea here I had was that someone would see the mace, expected to draw it out, and he would just start by punching them without any sort of. Like,
charitable. That's my fucking trait. I had to look it up.
Charitable. Well, that would definitely help with a first aid roll.
Yeah, I was just like, I couldn't. It was something with the C when you give to people.
Oh man.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, we have the personalities in there, and as you can see there, I'm kind of, I'm too generous because I think LordKaT was right when he says like kind wouldn't apply to this, but the personality was in there because sometimes you're making rolls in the game. And it's like, man, this is something my character really should be able to do. We said, well, look, we'll give everybody a D12 bonus once a day to let them do something that is appropriate. Victus is just asking, is there crafting in the game? And yes, there is. It's a lot like the crafting they do in D&D 3rd Edition, where they basically you get the raw materials and then you craft it. Unlike D&D, we broke up the stuff into cheap, average, and expensive. And one reason for that is in D&D, the amount of time it takes to craft something is directly proportional to how much it costs, which isn't always true in the real world. I played who was here who played the D&D game where you were all generals in the evil army? Someone was talking about that.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, I was in a similar campaign. And as the wizard, you think, man, if we could get everybody's arrows poisoned, that would be awesome. And then you start trying to craft poison, and then because the time it takes to craft something is directly proportional to the value, and because poison sells for thousands of gold a dose, it takes years to make it. And you have to wonder, like, I don't think it really takes that long to milk a snake. And so you just had to wonder at that. I mean, it was a simple rule they came up with. We really don't go into the crafting a lot in the game. I've discovered that people don't seem to have a lot of interest in it. I like it. I like it when it's in computer games. I love tracking weird stuff down and combining it. I'm one of the few people who likes grabbing stuff in TF2 and making new stuff. I know people play all kinds of shenanigans when it comes to that, but yeah, some people like it. And we haven't seen a lot of rotes in this game, which is when instead of rolling, you decide to take you maximize your roll but have the successes. So, for example, when LordKaT treats people, instead of rolling his medicine, his academics and mind, he could just say, all right, I rolled an 8 and an 8 and claim 2 successes and then have it. So instead of rolling, he just says, look, I can get, I'll just take the 1 success and just heal you guys for 1 success a day, and I won't roll it. And that way you can just point at everybody gets 1 point and be done with it. So that's another way of doing the crafting and that kind of stuff. So apparently you guys want to keep playing. That's a good thing I made more maps.
Yeah.
Well, you'll learn very quickly that we like to play for 8 hours at a time because we're all losers and none of us have a life.
International losers, cool.
Don't you have church tomorrow, Rolo?
Oh no, my priest's dead.
Yeah.
Now.
Ironically, also named Mahoney.
No, seriously, your priest died?
7 years ago. I haven't gone back to the church since.
I suppose 7 years ago is enough for. But now, my son, I must inform everyone, I am indeed a reverend. I just got it in the mail. I am a reverend in the Universal Life Church.
Is that an online church?
Yes, it still counts.
No, I want to know. Can you marry people?
Yep.
Because that's what my brother did. My brother's got an online degree, so he can marry people.
Hello.
Can you baptize them though?
I pronounce you man and wife.
Chris, can we get married?
Poof, no, it's done. I pronounce you man and wife. There, it's done.
It's still technically illegal in the United States and many states.
It depends on what state you're in.
Pennsylvania, so yes.
Oh, damn it.
Chris has researched this already.
Yeah, me and him have been.
Plus, you have to talk to a local municipality to prove it.
Yeah, there's also licensing and stuff like that. Every day it becomes more of a fascist state. But yeah, no, I just did that actually to help some people out. So
I don't know about baptism, Lady Justice. The way I heard it is that anyone can perform last rites as one of the sacraments of
I
Catholicism.
don't know if you actually, but it depends on what you believe in the afterlife. It also depends on, like, there's more than one denomination of Catholic. In fact, if you go crazy, in fact, speaking of Ironclaw, one thing that happens a lot in the Middle Ages was that you have all these people believing, like, was Christ a different substance or the same substance or a similar substance than human? Because if he's a different substance, was his suffering really for people? And oh my God, people killed each other in droves over arguing over stuff like that. We wanted to capture that appeal in Ironclaw, so if the religion sounds a little vague, if you look at the Ironclaw book, and especially our new book, the Book of Mysteries, we describe all the different faiths that people have most of them, like the different faiths people have in bizarre detail, where everyone's got these very specifics that they believe in. And you can have a lot of religious schisms based on, whether people believe in do you get to the afterlife by doing good things? Do you get to the afterlife by purging your body of want and need? Do you get to the afterlife by special magic? What is it? And there's a whole bunch of different faiths, and we wanted to keep that feel because not a lot of role-playing games do it.